There's a lot of talk lately about a bubble, in an AI bubble, and I think there's for good reason that there is going to be an AI bubble, but I think it's for a different reason. I think there are some stocks that are getting overpriced, and in essence, their value is getting ahead of their current productivity. And that is, I guess, a form of a bubble, but I interpret it a little bit differently. We are in a position where the stock prices are going up substantially, have gone up substantially, and so we need to have a vehicle or a means by which to measure the stocks against each other as to, are they getting overvalued? In other words, is their price already reflecting their future growth? And the easiest way to determine that is what is called a PE ratio. That works if they, in fact, have earnings. But if they don't have earnings, then a PE ratio, because the E stands for earnings, doesn't apply. So you use another metric, which is price to sales. And so what I've done is create a chart for myself to be able to analyze the stocks that I own and want to own and see which ones are overvalued and thus may burst. So let me take you to my computer and show you exactly how I do that. This is an Excel spreadsheet that I've created, and these are the tickers of all the stocks that I own, some 42 of them. And so let's use Apple as an example. Apple has a PE ratio, price to earnings, of 30.89. It has a price to sales, another price to revenues, of a multiple of 8.28. That gives you then something you can compare Apple to AMD. Now, the other column here I want to bring to your attention is this one that says 2027 percentage. I analyze every one of the stocks that I use, every earnings report. And from that analysis, which is done by my AI agent, Samantha, I determine what we project the price of the stock to be on January of 2027. And this is the representative change in the price from today's price to what it will be on January of 2027. So I am saying Apple will go up from the price today to the price on January the 1st, 9.97%. Okay? Now, then I compare it to the other stocks. This is Advanced Micro Devices, a good comparison. It has a PE ratio, price to earnings, of 35.21. Its price to sales is a bit higher than that of Apple, as is the PE ratio of 9.4. But look at the difference in what the analysis says the price change will be from today to January the 1st of 2027. A substantial difference, more than 3 times. So that gives me some reference point as to which Apple or AMD is the most fairly priced stock for what its performance will be over the next, 8 months. And that's how that works. So then I go through every one of my stocks and determine what is the PE ratio, what is the price to sales. And as you can see here, I then go and highlight that anything around 25 or 26 or below, I believe is a fair PE ratio, without really breaking down what sector they're in. So I see AMKR as a good value, and then also a very fair price to sales. For the most stocks, a price to sales of 1 is or lower is excellent. is excellent. This is a 1.6, and it tells me that I'm going to get almost a 36% increase in its price between today and the 1st of January. Whereas on MPX, it doesn't have a PE ratio because it's not a profitable company, and its price to sales is high. And actually, we're predicting, because it had a tremendous run up today, that the price, it's $14, I just happen to know that the price is going to be less in January of 2027 than it is today. So then I go through every one of the stocks and make that comparison. And then what I do is, for me, I say, okay, based on this analysis that I've got here, what stock do I want to buy if I have some cash to dispose of today? Well, Galaxy looks very good to me. It's not showing a profit. It is a small or a company that is converting from Bitcoin mining to data centers. Its price to sales is below 1, so it's a bargain. And it's showing me that I'm going to get a 32% growth in my price between now and January the 1st. So what this reflects, although you see here, that's 35, this is 32, but the risk is much lower because the price to sales is lower, okay, 1.6 as a 0.9. This is HIMSS. HIMSS is a medical products company. I need to, they're getting sued by one of the diet drug companies. So I have to put that into the equation as well. But it's got a good price to sales. It's got a good PE ratio, and it shows me a good return. Now, let's look at this one. This is IonQ. And this is in the quantum field. It is not showing profits. Its price to sales are extremely high, but it is saying the price is going to go up 100% this year from where it is today. Now that gives me some, wow, I want to own that, and I do own it, but I have to recognize the risk that's involved because its price to sales is far out of line from some of the others that I might want to choose from. Here's one that I really like, Mountain. It's a company that's involved in making TV commercials for companies through the use of AI, thus bringing down production time and production cost. Thus opening advertising, TV advertising, to a new market, has a reasonable price to sales number, and has a tremendous growth potential. So these are the kind of things that I develop for myself to say, if there's a bubble, and there is no doubt there will be a bubble and there will be prices come down, how can I protect myself from it? Or how can I make myself aware so that maybe I don't get caught in the trap? And this is how I do this. This is something I will go over in great detail tomorrow. We have a Friday Stock Talk for our tribe members, and I'll give them an opportunity to ask me questions. I guess that's this afternoon because I'm putting this video up on Friday. But I hear so many people talking about, well, it's a fantastic stock. And I'll give you one that you probably recognize. Tesla. Tesla is a fantastic stock. There is no doubt. But its PE ratio is 196. That means to get the price that it sells for today, for you to get reimbursed for that price from its earnings, it's going to take 196 years. Whereas for, let's say, just take one here, UPST, it's going to take you 12.76 years. Where for Tesla, it's going to its price to sales is a multiple of 14, whereas UPST is a 2.5. So the risk is much lower. And you understand why. You know who Tesla is. You have no idea who UPST is. But yet it's going to give me an 89% return on my investment, whereas Tesla is going to give me a 5.49 return on my investment between now and January the 1st. So by using tools like this, by understanding the metrics, you can throw the noise out. You can recognize that, yes, it can be a good company, but it's not properly priced. And thus, you want to avoid it. Because the key in investing is to not own good companies. It's to make money. And a good company sometimes isn't going to make you money. Am I saying Tesla will never make you money? No, I am not. But it's not over the next 8 months. And it's all right there in the numbers. So know what you own, know why you own it, and know if it's a good value. Again, Amazon, a fair PE ratio, a little high on the price to sales, but it's going to give you 22% return on your investment from the price today, based on the analysis that we have done using AI, where we go through their books, examine all their balance sheet, their income statement, their cash flow statement, their projections from Wall Street, take all those numbers and refine them, and it's going to give you a 22.54% return from today's price through January of 2027. These are the kind of tools that I share with my tribe. These are the kind of things. I'm a retired financial advisor. I've taught myself to understand the metrics that drive the price of a stock, and then use those metrics to help me make informed investment decisions. Does it work? Well, since I have incorporated Samantha and Bart into my analysis process, which started on May the 1st of 2025, our portfolio is up over 100%. I think that speaks for itself. It's all about the numbers and understanding what you own, why you own it, and then verifying it every 90 days and making adjustments accordingly and moving your fixed sum of money, hopefully growing, to those stocks that are going to give you the best rate of return from today to your endpoint. Now, what we do is we take the number for 2027. We also then project for 2028 and 2029, and then build that portfolio with a total objective of a portfolio that will double its price every 3 years. Double its value, I should say, every 3 years. So that's how I think people should invest. Not just buying good stocks. There are a lot of good stocks, but there are not a lot of good values. And the key to good investing is figure out a way to determine where the value lies, and that's what you should own. I invite you to come for 14 days for free. Go into the description, go to the link. It'll take you to a landing page. It'll give you a history of what we've done over the last year, the last 6 months. And then you'll see some testimonials from some people who have been doing this. I have people who we've changed their lives because now they make money they don't lose money. So give it a look, and if we can help you bring Wall Street to Main Street. They've had this for years. They go through the books. That's why a stock analyst gets paid usually somewhere around $150,000 a year, and then can double it if he gets it right. So he makes $300,000 a year. That's why Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan, they all hire stock analysts. Well, because they have access to the data. With AI, now you and I have access to the data as well. If we know the right questions to ask and then how to interpret the answers. Give me a shot, free in the description, and let's make you an informed investor.